Alright, and welcome to the finished product, the Swamps of Sylvoria here. As you can see, I really kind of went buck wild with those trees. I always found the color palette that Boba Lug chose to be very interesting. It really gives off that alien world look, but also I figured it would be fitting to display it now, given that we've just had the first day of fall, so we've got the dark orange and that yellow there. Really gives that autumn vibe as well. So as you can see from left to right, we've got the swamp area here with the Imperial Swamp Speeder, a couple of the army troopers rescuing somebody who fell in the water. You've got your kind of untamed forest back there, and there's actually a little creature you can probably just barely see. We'll zoom on him later. There's a little squirrel right where my finger is. As you pan right, you see the kind of outskirts of civilization. So I'm going for, this is one of the buildings of like a far out village, and leading this way is a gateway towards the rest of the village that way, and kind of off to the right as well. So this is the furthest on the edge building for the villagers. So I just thought it would be rather unique to see their perspective. Over here, there's like a little windmill right here. Got another pocket of trees. The farmer with his goats. Yeah, so let's zoom in on some more of these specific areas. All right, so like I said, we've got that swamp speeder there. The instructions are available on my Rebrickable. It's not quite the same because I just built this with the remaining pieces that I had. After building 2 swamp speeders, I kind of did not have the same amount of pieces to do the fronts. Just because I did not buy 10 of the 332nd battle packs, I only got 1 because that's really all I was interested in, to be honest. We've got these wonderful minifig co bodies and heads for the army troopers. They're really mud troopers, but they're not quite on Mimban, so they're kind of that. They're still mud troopers in their own way. As for the figure here, we've got the lovely dirty Han Solo from the Solo movie polybag. Thought it would work perfectly, and just really wanted to use that figure at some point, so I thought this was perfect. And then, like I was saying, our little creature friend back there, got that little squirrel just peeking through the woods. And then as we pan right, you can see the interaction right here. So you've got this farmer making direct eye contact with this army trooper there. Really kind of shows that, the distance between them, and the seed of rebellion is planted. Oppression will always breed rebellion at some point. It's a slow burn, but it'll get there. You can very clearly see that there is some animosity between the two, and that's really what I wanted to display in a more subtle way than having an outright battle. But I'm going to turn the entire build kind of at this angle. There's kind of little like nooks and crannies of detail everywhere, so we turn this way and just pan up a little bit. Now you see what I was talking about with this windmill here. I was trying to think of how a building on the edge of a village would actually be able to generate power, so I wanted to give it that homestead kind of look with the windmill there. Really doesn't. This is kind of like a turbine situation. That's the only way we would really be generating power. So there's no movement, and barely the propeller moves. And then we've got the building itself back there. I'm just going to remove these trees for now. They do stay in the build, but I do see how they impact the view of the building. I just really liked adding the trees, kind of giving it that edge look. But now you can see, let's zoom back out, what we came up with for the structure. So this is actually using a lot of creative angles, lots of Lego math just to make this work. But I just didn't want to do another square building. I've never really enjoyed those. I think it's too bland. Really lacks, not creativity on anybody's part, but I just like to do things this way. In order to kind of match the Boba Lug aesthetic, though, I have this little secondary roof, you might call it, a little bit raised, and that's where, you know, you get this connection. Here's a power line. They've put flags on it just for flair, but that's what it's supposed to be. You've got your vents, you've got your little antenna. They've got to communicate somehow. And as you can see, we've got one of those old Jabba's sail barge panels there. I've actually made it kind of a window blind. And I've used two more of them over here to cover. There's a little garden, so we'll get a close-up on that as well. But now you can really see that interaction here with the locals. So we've got two of the villagers right here stopping this Imperial, I want to say patrol, but this is the patrol down here. This is an officer with some of the Navy commandos, courtesy of Engineerio Customs. This is one I really like that I kind of slabbed together here. So we've got this pseudo commander, got that minifig cat rubber pauldron, little Kama there, as well as the AV figures magnetic backpacks, which I think are really, really cool. And of course that brick arms blaster as well. So put him back. And of course, you know, we've got our Imperial officer who doesn't belong there, but you know, he's barking orders at him that he can come through whenever he wants. But this guy is very clearly not having it, so. But this is only half of the look. You've got to see it with my typical lights added. We'll just plug this in here. Not only that, we're gonna go completely dark. And zoom back out. Now, what I really enjoyed about this is how bright the swamp speeder ended up looking. So you can actually get some really good shots from behind the swamp speeder looking at the faces of these troopers down here. But it also just shows a stark contrast between, you know, the simpler living up here in the village and the Imperial technology. Really kind of the old tale of the Industrial Revolution destroying simple living, that type of argument. But a building isn't a building without inhabitants, but it also isn't a building without an interior. So we're going to tilt this way, and I will scooch the camera back here. So yes, the wiring was kind of an afterthought. It always is, even though I plan to add it pretty much every build I do now. Normally I would have wired it through, but the structural integrity of this building is questionable at best in terms of maintaining that angle and actually maintaining a connection to the rest of the build. So to rip it all back up to thread the wires through just didn't make much sense to me. But if it's going to be shown in low light anyways, you know, there you go. However, we've got our Rebel operative here, and yes, that is Splinter's head, but Lego hasn't made a decent Bothan, so I've seen a couple other people on Instagram do that with their Rebel fig barfs, so I really liked that. But you can also get a little bit of a look here at that garden I was talking about. So they're basically tomatoes. They're little vines under here. And we should actually just turn the lights back up a little bit at least. There we go. So yeah, you can see there's another villager that's tending to the garden. And I wonder if I can actually get a shot in the doorway. We're a little high up. Alright guys, don't be scared. We're going to drop the tripod just a little bit so we can get in that doorway. Maybe. I guess we'll find out together. There we go. So you can see there are people in there as well. I'll add some pictures at the end of the video also to showcase some of the close-up images I was able to get. But yeah, this is pretty much it. We've got a little bit of everything, and I really hope you guys enjoyed the build series itself. It was unique for me to be able to show you guys how this came together. Even though it was a little spotty and got too excited, I started the build without making sure there was a camera next to me actually recording the time-lapse. That's why there was that 1.5 episode. I got a little excited in the beginning, and once the creative juices start flowing, it's really hard for them to stop. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, after this, I will do kind of a YouTube short with a bunch of these still images, as well as an Instagram post with all the dedicated images that I was able to take, whether it be low light, full light. I've got a whole bunch of them, so be sure to keep a lookout for those. But make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm really hoping to do another one of these in the future, potentially with a larger project, especially with Andor Season 2 coming out in 2025. I do have a lot of palm trees and tan plates, so Scarif may be on the horizon. Who knows? But yeah, let me know if there's any builds that you guys would like to see. I'm here to build content for you guys just as much as I'm here to build for my own enjoyment. So we'll see you on the next one. Have a good one.